What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Quentin Flores here, and today what I'm going to be talking about is how you can nail the first 10 seconds of a cold call when you're talking to a motivated seller lead. Now, guys, I'm going to be going into deep detail on this. I feel like for a lot of people that are cold calling, they're not getting the type of success that they actually need to be able to close these transactions, and a lot of it has to do with the openings that they're putting into their cold call routines. So guys, it's gonna be number 1 of a 5-part series. I'd like for you guys to see number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, but the only way you're gonna be able to take a look at it is if you go ahead and click on subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that you can be notified when my next part of this 5-part series comes out. So guys, without further ado, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. I'll catch you guys after this intro. All right, now guys, I'm gonna be breaking this down step by step because truthfully, not every single opening that you do is gonna work right off of the rip. So for all of my people that are watching this right now, it's imperative that you try out multiple different opening tactics when you hop on the phone and you begin cold calling, because that's how you're going to be able to create traction, because not every single person that you talk to on the phone is going to have the same type of personality. So you have to be able to structure this so that when you are presented with a seller personality, you know exactly how to adapt into this type of conversation right off of the rip. So with all of that being said, guys, there's gonna be 4 different types of people that you're pretty much gonna run into as you begin your cold calling for the day, okay? So number 1 is your stubborn type of person, okay? This is the guy who's like, why are you calling me? What is it that you're trying to do with this conversation? How did you get my phone number, okay? So that's number 1. Number two is gonna be that very talkative person that's very welcoming into the conversation. So a lot of times when you're talking to an individual like that, you could totally fly off of the point and then get into building too much rapport. And because you're building too much rapport, you separate yourself from being business professional and friend. And the second person is something that you really gotta be able to identify within those first 10 seconds. The third person that you're gonna have to look out for is going to be that individual who is just an extremely slow talker. They're like a sloth on the phone, and everything they say has to be ironed out. Now that's something that you're gonna run into that more often than you normally do, especially if you're cold calling a high equity list and you're using an age demographic where you're putting those leads over 65, you're gonna be running into individuals like that all of the time. Very slow, very steady conversations. But there is a way that you can execute that's also off of that 10-second mark. And the 4th type of individual that you are gonna be reaching out to is also going to be the one that's gonna be extremely afraid to talk to you. I'm talking like they're a scaredy cat. They think that you're a scam. They think that everything that you do is fraudulent. They have a million reasons to try to push you off of the phone. They're gonna ask you to remove their number from their list. And I'm sure that you guys get these types of calls all of the time. But identifying these 4 different types of personalities is going to help you right from the beginning create that traction that you're needing in your business to be able to launch the call in the direction that you're wanting to go, which is where you actually land a lead that's either a follow-up or boom, even better, a contract. So number 1, dealing with a stubborn seller. After all of this is done, by the way, toward the end of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and do on a live cold call, and you're gonna see how I adapt and I use the first 10 seconds, okay? But before I do that, number 1, how you deal with your stubborn client, your stubborn seller, right? So the guy gets on the phone, he says, who the hell are you? You're just like everybody else. Why are you calling me again? You people need to stop calling me. This is going to be your response. Say, hey, Mr. Seller, look, I get it. A lot of people call you, but I ain't like other people, all right? So number 1, I want to be able to make you an offer on your property. This is 100% non-obligation. He's probably gonna be like, well, all the other guys said that they were gonna make an offer on my property too, right? So then your next 10 seconds, remember all this is happening in a 10-second span. The next thing that you say, well, look, I get it. You've gotten a lot of tire kickers, but I'm gonna give you a straightforward offer. You don't have to accept it right now. I will go ahead and make you this offer. You can keep it in your back pocket. He's gonna be like, wow, okay, so there's no obligation. That's how you're gonna be dealing with a stubborn seller and pushing toward that 10-second mark, okay? The second person that you guys are gonna be dealing with is the talkative seller. Now guys, I'll be totally honest with you. The moment that you notice this is typically right off of the rip when they answer the phone and they're like, okay, you can just tell they're like Speedy Gonzalez with the vocals, right? So you got to slow them down. Look, hey, Mr. Client, I get it. You know, I have a lot of things going on right now. This is going to be your response, okay? Dealing with a seller that wants from the get-go to carry a conversation. Number one, this is going to be the first thing that you're going to have to do. Say, look, Mr. Seller, I actually have a few other people that I got to get a hold of right now. My company's buying a lot of different properties, okay? However, yours is important to me and I want to cut straight to business. Boom. That is how you get out of the trap of moving into friend. Remember guys, the talkative seller, the only thing that's gonna suck about that conversation is 100% that they will carry it into rapport, and you as a wholesaler, real estate investor, have to maintain professionalism. If you don't, then you run off of the straight line and then the conversation goes every other single way but the deal at hand. So move it back to business. Maintain business while slowly building the rapport, but staying professional and maintaining the professional in the conversation. So dealing with the slow talker, guys, I'll be honest with you. There's probably no way that you're gonna dodge this. Now this one right here, your first 10 seconds are always very, very mutual, very understanding. Hi, Mr. Seller, my name is Quentin. I'm interested in making you an offer on your property. Would love the opportunity to do that. Try to keep moving it toward business every single time, right? As you open up, the seller will start to become more comfortable with you because they're matching the tonality. Notice how my voice slowed down during that entire little segment right there, right? All I'm doing is I'm mirroring the tonality of the seller to be able to create that rapport and comfortableness that's solely based off of my tonality. I'm mirroring the seller, which is gonna make the seller 70% more comfortable with having the conversation with you. But a slow conversation can become a long conversation. A business call calling about a property should last no longer than 5 minutes. I'll be straightforward with you. If it goes any further than that, it's either one, because you're trying to make the seller an offer, or two, there's unforeseen circumstances that are involved with the property that's gonna make you have to more or less figure out exactly what the situation is. But if you're just trying to make an offer, move straight to the point. Cold calling is a numbers game. Once you're done with one call, boom, you move to the next one. Don't get caught in the rapport trap. I promise you, you'll shoot yourself in the foot. Now 4 is that scaredy cat that, oh my God, remove my number and you guys call me all of the time and yada, yada, yada. So actually guys, I had a seller call me on a previous video. And in this video, this seller was basically pissed off that somebody from my office kept calling her when she said that she wasn't interested in selling the home. After like a few couple of seconds of me being like, whoa, look, ma'am, I get it. This is your 10 seconds, by the way, okay? Whoa, check this out, ma'am. Look, I understand. You get a lot of calls like that, and I understand that completely. Everything that I do for you is non-obligation. So if I make you an offer right now, it's non-obligation. Boom, there's your 10 seconds. My 10-second explanation is gonna buy me my next 10 seconds, okay? Everything that we do right now is non-obligation. Not only that, I'm willing to make you just an offer. And I got this call to a point where she was able to just want to entertain an offer. So guys, click this little thing above and you can watch that video where basically it was a seller who was a total scaredy cat that was not interested in an offer that ended up becoming a closed lead, closed deal where it produced $20,000 worth of revenue for my company. Click this little thing up here, and guys, I know that you'll enjoy that video. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hop on a phone. I'm gonna call a lead that called our office, okay? So it's kind of warm, cold, but just so that you guys can get an idea of how I'm going to approach this lead, okay? So just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this lead from my CRM. If you're interested in using a CRM that is 100% compatible with your wholesale real estate business, go ahead and look at the description. I left the link there for Beast Mode CRM. It's what I use in my business. And if you're really trying to gain some traction and scale up your company, the link is in the description. Make sure that you click it. Tell them your boy Q sent you. Give me 1 second and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. So this is a call that we got a couple of days ago from a lead. There's not much information that we have on this, but this is from a new rep that we have working at our office. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this person back, kind of listen to how I carry the conversation and how I kind of move it to business. You see what I'm saying? So this property is like right outside of Houston, Texas. Let's go ahead and give him a call. See if we can make a deal happen on the spot.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Ignacio.
Yes.
How you doing? You talked to my partner Katie a couple days ago about your property on Talbot. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. It's that industrial.
Commercial Park Road.
Yes, that's the one I'm calling about.
Yes.
Well, look, hey, I'm interested in that property. I'm actually here in San Antonio, Texas. Cypress is right outside of Houston, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm interested in this property. If and obviously we have multiple different things that we could probably do with this thing, but more or less, you said that it's industrial, right, or commercial property?
It's all industrial, commercial, and that down that road, Commercial Park Road. I mean, you're about 2 blocks.
So start letting him tell me things.
There's a nursing home behind the property. I mean, it's just, it's blowing up over there pretty fast.
Okay. Well, look,
Yes.
I'm interested. I see that you're at, well, what Katie had mentioned was that you're asking $375 for the property.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I were to pay that amount of money, what I would need, it would be time. If there's a way that I could put down a fraction of that amount of money, I think that I can probably make something happen with this property. But of course, that'd be like a terms type of deal. But because it's kind of high and I see that there's some stuff happening in that area, I would need at least a few years to be able to pay the property off in full. So what more or less I'm suggesting is, if this is something that you're interested in doing, is if I were to kind of buy this property on terms, we can come to an agreement on a monthly payment, and we could put a 5-year balloon so that I can cash you out in 5 years. Would that be something that you would be interested in?
Like you're talking like doing some kind of owner finance or something?
Exactly. Like if you'd be open to basically being my bank for this property.
Sure. I mean, we can get a contract and get settled on a percentage or something, and I can owner finance it to you. If you give me I don't know, how much down payment you think you'd be giving down?
Typically, I'm anywhere between 5 to 10%, but it just depends on what I'm working with. I definitely want to walk the property, but I wanted to call to see if you would entertain that, and then kind of, if that is something that you'd be interested in doing, I'd be more than happy to see if I can accommodate this, because my goal would be able to at least carry it until that, the development is done in that area. By that time, then be able to pop the equity that I have in it when I refinance it.
Okay.
If that would be okay.
Yeah, we could do something like that, man. With a property, you can walk the property. It's wooded out. It's woods. It's wooded. But we could, try to get in there and walk through it,
Okay. Ignacio, are you a real estate investor as well?
No, I bought these properties a couple of years back and just to invest some money in it. I was bought and sell like that,
Okay.
And, we kind of want to retire, man, here pretty soon. I got 3 kids in college, and
Okay.
my wife want to move out. She got some property out in South Padre Island over there, so we want to move out there and
Gotcha.
get rid of what we got. That's the only property left we have besides our house.
I understand.
We want to get out, but
Now, if we were to do like a cash deal, what would be the best deal that you can give me on this if I were to buy a cash close in a few weeks? I mean, would you entertain like 340, 350?
I could do I could do 350 if you take cash.
Okay. Let me talk to my partner about this, and this is my direct line. Ignacio, my name's Quentin. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
I'll go ahead and let me see if it's something that we can put together for this property, and I'll go ahead and I'll call you back here in about an hour. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah, I'm still at work. I'm on my way home, and I can get together with my wife, and we could talk to her, and we could settle something, man. We could, we could work on something, man. No big deal.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much then, and I'll talk with you soon.
So your name is Quentin, is that
Yeah,
right?
yes, sir. And I can give you a call back in an hour. I'm just gonna discuss some of the property details with my partner, and then you'll hear from me in about 5 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barreto. Yeah, bye. So, with a call like that, I know I got a little creative. I don't expect for you to do the same thing, but I was able to gather some information. Turns out the guy has a bunch of kids. They're all trying to go through college right now, and it looks like he's just trying to retire. He doesn't want to manage this property anymore. Now, if you can get a property on terms, right? That is very powerful, because then you can utilize those terms to be able to leverage banks to cash out that equity as the property appreciates. You see what I'm saying? So not every single deal has to be like an owner finance or seller finance wrap or a subject to wrap. Those are things that I'll probably explain on another video, but that property has huge potential. I believe there's about 4 or 5 units in that property, and he's trying to sell it for $375 cash, which is still an amazing deal. But my stance on it was to not come all the way out of pocket. So as you guys can see, not only did I build rapport, I also created that relationship. Told him that him and his wife and I are all going to call back into, I guess I'm going to call him back in like an hour, and we're going to go over everything together, of which then hopefully we can create a deal once I present this to my partner. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, this is the first part of a 5-part series where I'm going to be going over in deep detail how you can create different opening tactics for multiple different types of motivated sellers, so that you guys can start bagging more contracts, okay? So as always, hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, and be on the lookout for part 2, and I'll see you guys on the next video. If you're wanting a deep dive on how to deal with your scaredy cat seller, make sure you click on this video right here, okay? And in this video, you're gonna see that some lady got a piece of mail from me, called me back, cursed me out, and that was a deal that my company closed on that made us $20,000 on an assignment fee. And she didn't even want to sell the property. So make sure you click on this cold call video, and make sure you subscribe, so that way you guys can see the next parts of this 5-part series, okay? I'll see you guys later.
I want the check.